And we are live. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's a cloudy day out today.
It's been thunderstorming.
How's
It's
it?
been sunny. My kids got last day of school, but it's been it's sunny, storm,
Nice.
sunny, storm, sunny, storm.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but looking forward to having this chat today
yeah.
because there's a couple things we wanted to kind of go over.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how you want to start. Either we can talk about a little bit cost stuff,
Yeah,
or I know we only have 30 minutes today.
yeah.
Um,
Unfortunately, 30 minutes. It's that time of this season where kids are getting out of school. So my son's last day of school is tomorrow, so he has all half days this week. I got to go
Same
scoop him
here,
up from
man.
school. Unfortunately, he can't drive yet. He's 9. I don't know why he doesn't know how to drive yet, but I'll talk to him about that.
Don't you have like some FSD automatic agent to let him drive yet? Come on,
Listen, man, I think we're close. Like there's, in I don't even know how many years, but there's nothing
Mhm.
stopping us from being like, hey, car, go pick the kid up from school.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Right, we're there. Right.
Why
Um,
not, right?
um, yeah, I think so. So I wanted to kind of dive in. We have a lot of we have some cool announcements going on.
Mm-hmm.
We've revamped how Agent Gateway UI and the next Agent Gateway release, which is coming in the next hour or so itself. I feel like it's kind of the biggest leap we've done, and we're really focusing a lot on consuming LLMs like billing. Um, some of the brand new stuff, and I'll show it in a second, but it is a brand new UI, right? Purpose built for LLM, MCP, and traffic view, and I think you got access to it yesterday.
Yep.
I'm not sure how much you played in it, but one cool thing is that you can build stuff very fast. Like
Right.
you need an LLM, boom, go, one click button, MCPs. Then the big thing, well, there's a lot of features in it actually, but cost analysis or AI cost analysis, like token and dollar cost,
Yep.
right? Providing that full attributes, full logs. Because especially now when we're looking at, and we're doing a webinar next week on tokens and how things cost, things get a little different, depends. And I'm just going to share my window here so we can kind of dive in.
Yeah, and as you're sharing, like maybe I could dive into something here real quick, just
Yeah.
from a team and org perspective. Like one of the things that engineering and product put together very well when it comes to Agent Gateway and the cost management, the cost optimization pieces, how much you can do within Agent Gateway. Now, typically, when you look at a product, a tool, right, whether it's enterprise, whether it's open source, there's a specific focus point for cost optimization and management, right? Maybe it's geared towards CFOs that need to look at reports. Maybe it's geared towards just token optimization and context optimization. Maybe it's just geared towards model optimization. Maybe it's just geared toward, whatever other category is out there, right? Like from an observability perspective, to be able to see how it all looks and how it all works. With Agent Gateway, you're getting a little bit of everything, right? So it's not geared towards like just one specific team or one specific org or one specific, leadership team or management team or engineering team. It's you get everything out of the box. That's the goal of it is, hey, there's a bunch of different ways to think about cost optimization and cost management. Instead of just giving you one of those, we have given you all of them.
No, it's a good point. And then there's the way to analyze it and categorize it however you want. Because even if we look at before I show it, even if we look at how tokens are billed, right? We take a look at fresh input rates, cache reads, cache writes, the model, output tokens, token reasoning as a build output. There's a couple different ways, and we're going to dive into the webinar next week on it. But also as we introduce, and we talked about this last week, kind of agentic loops or MCP loops, how are tokens going to be added up in here, right? We have prompts, tool history, tools, the cache prefix for each loop. And it also depends, and I'm diving more into this, depends if Anthropic or OpenAI who are using, the longer the cache is, the more they're charging you. So it's varying on how much they charge you, which is interesting.
know that.
Yeah. So like if a cache is 1 minute, 5 minutes, or an hour, there's a different rate that they're adding. And Anthropic and OpenAI are doing a couple different things with that.
Wow, interesting.
Like I think it was. Let me pull up my notes here for a second. So, I had it somewhere here. So, the biggest structure differences on Claude, cache read costs 0.1x base input rate, but writing to a cache costs an extra 1.25 times your base input for a 5-minute cache, 2x for a 1-hour cache itself. So the longer the cache, the more they're charging you, right? And a 5-minute cache, right, plays for itself. So each time, for every read, they're charging you every time it plays, right? So we're gonna dive in next week into. I'll have some visual representations of it to kind of show you how the spend is, but it's different on OpenAI or Anthropic's or even Copilot itself. But today, continuing the Agent Gateway, here's the new UI. And exactly what you're talking about, cost analysis. Now I can provide analytics on not just what models are being used, the users that are going to be using it, the groups that they're part of, the providers, the user agents, and on and on and on. So I can now have a deep dive on who and what is using where from a sales team. Is it they're using OpenAI or they're using Anthropic, they're using Claude Code, whatever I want, I can dive into it. And now have this analytics live from those users, those groups.
And it's so important. Like everybody really has to understand just how important this is, right? Because we are at a point with all things agentic, right? Regardless of what team you're on, that every organization cares about how much you're spending. We use Agent Gateway internally so we can observe how much we spend, right? So like the IT team is looking at, hey, this person is utilizing this many tokens, this person's utilizing this provider, et cetera. And it's not like hey, we need to know what everybody's doing. It's more like we need to be able to prepare how much token spend is necessary, right? Like you look at the Uber thing that came out a couple weeks ago where they went through their whole allocated yearly spend in a quarter, right? So teams, organizations need to understand what the cost is going to be, what team needs each. It's literally like for anybody that cares about talking about this, in any organization, each department has a spend, right? Per quarter, per year, how much they can spend on whatever tools, platforms, vendors, trips, events, whatever, right? Token usage and spend and cost and thinking about it, like that's very much going to become part of the spend. Like how many tokens does your team need? How much allocation of cost does your team need per quarter, per year, right? And that's going to be really important for organizations. And even from a security and governance perspective, right? Let's say, for example, all of a sudden you realize this agent is spending $40,000. Maybe you have a rogue agent. Maybe this agent has been compromised. Maybe you have to figure out, hey, is something going on from a hacking perspective? Like, did somebody get into this agent? Are they using this agent for particular things? So you could already use Agent Gateway to pull traces, right, to see what that agent is doing. But now you can see it from a cost perspective of, is this agent supposed to be acting this way? So yeah, I don't mean to go on a tangent, but like it's very important for organizations and for teams.
Correct. Yeah, like using cost tokens request, however you're going to be, analyzing your spend or allocating your spend to those groups or users, and then you have that chargeback. And like you mentioned with logs, now we have. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here. This looks a little better now. Now with logs, we can, as we're ingesting the logs, we can see every chat that was. So you can keep this locally. Of course, you can have an OTel collector and send this to whatever you want to do. But now you can see that, hey, this request from this individual was this many tokens. It took this amount of time. Here's the input, output. Here's the cost for every kind of deployment. And of course, you can see the raw data to analyze this. But now you have a visual way of seeing and streaming even live logs that are happening itself, right? So you can stream live, test live. And if you're doing any testing inside Agentgateway or inside of the apps or SDK or whoever you're pointing to, it makes it simple.
And again, this is based off of what provider, what model, what agent, what user, what department, right? Is it what engineering department is it? What marketing department is it, et cetera? Like it's getting real granular.
Correct. And of course, exporting it, something every exec and manager wants itself. So the UI has gotten kind of a whole new all new change. It's still a declarative way you can configure everything inside of the raw configs that you could download, export it. Being able to deploy models or providers is super easy. For example, I already have OpenAI deployed in here, but it's as easy as clicking on the model. If I'm using whatever Claude or Anthropic, I already have a list of all and we're adding more and more. I think we added 13 more in here, but we can select Anthropic. Now we can provide an unset. So, no credential configured. We can use environment variables, have that API key, have a specific file secrets, already start configuring what kind of outgoing model configuration we have, either incoming models or we explicitly imply, hey, you're going to use, you can't use Fable 5 here, but you're going to use Haiku or Sonnet or whatever you want to use. We're already telling them, or we're, as the platform team or as the AI team or the SRE team, we're saying, hey, this is what we've certified as an organization. Use that. And we can apply more matches. We can apply a lot of custom policies to this, but it's as easy as saving. Let me put in a little key in here. It's as easy as that. Now I have Claude. I can now execute changes into this, or use the actual playbook or the client chat to be able to incorporate it. And of course, I have to add cores in here, but it's as easy as me clicking on the apply button and being able to test what models, what keys, and what I have.
And can you go back to the providers really quick, like the providers drop down? Yeah. If you look here, by the way, keep going, right? You see things like DeepSeek and Mistral and Olama. So if you're running models locally, or if you're running models in, like a provider SaaS, right? Like your OpenAIs and your Anthropics and such. So regardless of where you're running models locally or in the cloud somewhere, that's fully covered.
And if you're building your own, you can, if it's not listed in here, you can actually click on the provider and, Sebi AI, right? As an example. And if it's based off OpenAI or if it's based off OpenRouter or specific Hugging Face deployment, I can save this provider. And inside my models, when I enable it, you're going to see now Sebi AI through Hugging Face, and I can apply those parameters. So it makes it quick and nice and simple, nice and easy. Then with that, you have policies, of course, that you could apply. API keys, basic auth, JOT, OIDC. All of that's ready for you. Google, Entra, these are the stuff that we were kind of missing in the later versions, but we applied them because we understand what customers are kind of seeing inside the open source code. Same as guardrails, being able to apply guardrails, be it built-in detectors, custom regex, or connecting to Google Model Armor or Azure Content Safety or Bedrock guardrails, already available in here for you to kind of play around and test around itself. Lots of stuff going in here. I don't want to kind of go through the UI entirely. I don't really have this too much config set up in my lab environment, but this will be available probably in the next couple hours, hour or two. They're going to push it and merge the code. One thing I actually like is the client setup portion. So if you already have something, and if you're running Claude Code or desktop, it already gives you kind of a nice overview. of how to deploy it itself. Just like with LLM providers, we have MCP servers. So having the capability of adding an MCP server, be it streamable, legacy, or command-based, into the actual platform. And of course, with that, like I mentioned, policies apply to it. I think we've got it. Some of the new stuff that we added on here, other than cost analysis into 1.3, is virtual modes. So like a route, we really just route smarter, not route harder. But having the capability of having the client in a virtual mode, like a My Router, routing specific weights or failover conditions itself. So all that's going to be in the blog that's going to be released later today. So I think we do weighted, failover, and conditional stuff itself.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah. And we put the link to Agent Gateway's GitHub. And I think it's getting released today. It's just a matter of like what time. So definitely check back in, and you'll be able to pull that new release down. And sorry, I was on mute because for some reason every 2 weeks my complex loves to put the fire alarms on for no reason and then turn them off. So apologies.
Oh, no, that's all right, man. So a lot of new features, like we're going to be releasing blogs and videos throughout the week and next week on the actual platform. Looks actually very nice in dark mode. I like light mode a lot, but I actually do like it in dark mode too.
Yeah. We don't want you to squint, man.
I don't want to squint. I'm getting older. And just like with MCP, same as traffic listeners, right? If you're going to be routing any APIs, any services, you have the capability of building the listeners. And all the stuff is inside the raw configs here, right? That you can play around with. Or even if you're trying to create cell policies, you have the capability of testing everything out here and evaluating what you're doing. So I'm pretty pumped about it. And I think that we added like 13 other new features that we can go through. Request handling, like external MCP. So MCP aware, external auth, and external processing. So when your services decide to use MCP request context, they can do that. We have external processing, so like rich processing model configuration, request buffering. So traffic policies can now buffer requests, the bodies before being forwarded. So like if there's a policy and an extension gets kind of this full body request access before it talks to the backend. So it reads the full thing before it talks to the backend. Authorization. We have per model LLM authorization. That could be scope, external auth, cache TTL, a lot of stuff. Re-ranked is pretty cool, where we can re-rank request and response across your providers. So we'll rank them based on the response that you have. Bedrock detect pass-through, which is pretty neat.
Nice.
What other stuff? Okta is a first class MCP authenticator provider, which has been in there, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a big one. So many people ask us about that. Like, I feel like from an OIDC provider perspective, like the biggest we get asked about is Okta and Entra, which, I mean, there's a lot of Microsoft shops out there, which is good. So,
100%.
That's awesome.
Like, I run Windows sometimes too.
Hey, we didn't. We let's not go that far.
I love Windows. I love Windows. But I like the cost analysis is kind of the best. I'm like, this is awesome, because everyone's always asking about this itself.
It's such a big topic. Like for the past, I would say, like for 6 months straight, the three big things that people would ask about, right? And it was almost like you could just mute the discovery call and then at the end be like, oh, you want these three things? And they, So the three things were security, governance, observability for all agentic workflows. Now, over the past 2 months, the four things are those three things plus cost optimization and cost management. So like those are the things everybody's asking about. It's not like a one-off type of deal.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Honestly, I just want to the playground. I'm a big fan of. Yeah. So I'm going to delete this because I think I put in a fake key. But let me add OpenAI here. OpenAI. And let me add OpenAI in here. I'm going to throw my API key, and I'm just going to save this. So I can actually now click on the play and test whatever I want. I'm just going to put in my key. I think I'm just using Turbo. That's the defined. If I want to include an MCP server, I can. And it automatically detects, hey, you don't have this stuff allowed. So configure it. So it makes it super easy. I don't have to click on, oh, I forgot to set up cores for MCP policies.
Right.
Boom, I apply it. You know, what's 2 plus 2? Or what's the answer? What's 2 plus 2? Oh, sorry. I didn't do this right. Look at that.
Oh, because MCP was
yeah, I don't even have an MCP server on here. Request. I think I put in the wrong key. My key's expired. Bad demo. Bad live demo.
All right.
Playgrounds itself. I don't even think I'm allowed to use Turbo. That's probably why.
You know how many times I'm like demoing something and I always get hit with the API key, and then it's like, oh, because the GitHub pad expired or this expired or whatever. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It happens to the best of us.
Happens to me all the time.
There we go.
There we
now,
go.
I was using Turbo, but so 4 plus 2 is 2. I mean, 2 plus 2 is 4. My goodness. I didn't have a lot of sleep, man. That thunderstorm was wild.
Good thing we have AI.
Thank goodness I needed this. How many tokens was spent on this answer?
That's awesome. Nice.
But having that capability in here is great. Being able to inspect it is awesome. And just allows you to then also edit what the system prompt, you know, who you are. So as you are developing your agents, your prompts, your loops now, you can then, you know, test everything and position everything in the platform. Nice. And of course, cost. If you have custom costs, you can add the file of your custom costs, just a JSON file for the providers.
Yep.
So maybe if you're doing some type of, like you mentioned, buyback or cost analysis to your selling to your organization, you can have a specific cost tied to it, which is super good.
Yeah. So that could be like a team's like golden cost set, essentially.
Correct. Yeah. And then, right, there's the logs. There's my log. Here's the one that I got wrong.
Oh, nice.
And
it even logs out.
Yeah. Yep. So it's logging, and you know, it cost me a couple 0.0092 cents, 23 tokens, 7 in, 7 out, 30 tokens in total for me to answer my question itself.
How many was it in? Input was 23 in, 7 out. That's interesting. I would imagine the opposite.
Well, what was the? Yeah, because what was the output? Yeah. Well, I said, what is 2 plus 2? I said, what is? What is 2 plus 2? And then it goes 2 plus 2 equals 4. So yeah.
That makes sense.
So that makes sense. Can you look? Yeah, you can download the JSON payload of it, which is nice. But that cost me some cycles.
That's awesome.
Right. Oh, we even have time. This was new. I guess they just added how much milliseconds. That's another one.
Oh, that's
I've been getting questions about. Like, does it add delay? I'm like, well, depends on what you're doing, and I don't think delay is something important, or latency is not that big. I find in an LLM perspective.
Awesome. Very cool. One thing I just wanted to share really quick.
Let's do it. Yeah.
There too. I just put it in the comments. I know we talked about Substrate last week. I put together a blog on if you're using Cajun as like your interface, your runtime, right? And you want to have a sandbox agent and you want to use Substrate as said sandbox agent, you can have Cajun in front of it, and then you can utilize Cajuns again as the runtime, and then select Substrate as your sandbox and use it like any other agent. So I put together a full end-to-end blog on that, and I put that out in the comments. And that's it.
Yeah, looking forward to just getting more content out to the team. The blog's not live yet because the code is not released. But I think it's a banger, to be honest.
All the call stuff for sure.
Yeah. But
Sweet.
next week, I know we only have a couple minutes because we had to make a short one today.
Yep.
But next week we have our cost analysis workshop, which we're actually going to give you hands-on access to Agent Gateway. OSS, we're going to be deploying this through Cloud Code or whatever model, however you want to use it. We're going to make it, I'm making it very universal itself. And yeah, thanks for adding that in there.
Yeah.
And we're also going to talk about this, which I find really important, as loops are super on the topic. We want to understand what a loop is going to cost you. And I have a very cool little visual that's going to show you every time you run a loop. Hey, ching, 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 here's how much it costs. So define your specific prompts or your blueprints very well to be able to kind of optimize the cost effectiveness or itself. Other than that, that's all I had for today. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, X, YouTube. Like and subscribe. Mike's got an awesome hat today.
I do like it. I actually, so I was wearing it like this because this is how I wear my hats. But the thing is, I can't put my head back because it hits the cushion. So I got to switch it.
I'm not a hat guy. My forehead's too big.
I like hats. A
big Polish forehead.
And plus, the haircut day is tomorrow, so the hair's a little messed up right now.
That's okay. We're not going to judge you, man. We still love you.
All right, folks.
All right, appreciate it, everybody.
Thanks so much. Enjoy the weekend. If you have a long weekend, I'm off tomorrow. So if anybody here is listening has a long weekend, enjoy the long weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Perfect. Take care.
Later, everybody.